Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we do here is fire. You guys know the drill. So let's get right to our show for you guys today. We are currently on TikTok Live as well as recording our show for you guys today on Recap Monday. Welcome, everyone. If you guys hear my voice a little scratchy, just came back over the last 2 days over the weekend with a tournament for basketball coaching. So my voice is kind of gone. So I'm going to do the best to give you guys the best possible show out here. So I appreciate all the support, guys. Currently, right now, we got 1,053 followers on TikTok. We're almost at that 100 subscribers for YouTube, so let's get right there. So right now, guys, we're going to be going into a recap. So as always on Recap Monday, we go over what happened over the weekend. So we had a lot of sports stories to get to. We're going to go off of TikTok Live to do that at our end of our show right before we end today's show. But like I said, always we are going to be posting this on YouTube as well as Apple Podcast, Spotify as well. So you guys just tune into that. One's the audio show, and one is the actual YouTube show. So I will catch you guys there. But right now we are going to be going over recapping Game 1 of the NBA and NHL playoff series. We got game twos happening tonight. We also have two games that are happening of game one for the NHL. So we'll get to that and my picks for those. We're just going to go over what I thought from the first round matchups. We're going to start with the NBA. We had some crazy endings. But at the same time, we had some not so crazy endings. I mean, the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs always have some craziness to them. We're going to start off with the first series, which is the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. Obviously, we also just got word. We'll go over that on our show. You guys should tune into that. I'll have hey, what's up, brother? What's up, Aiden? How you doing, bro? Um so we're going to be going over the Boston Celtics Miami Heat first round matchup. So right now they have the 1-0 series lead. Boston does over Miami. Obviously, Miami does not have Jimmy Butler, and it was noted this morning that he is going to be out for the remainder of the first round series. So it looks like Boston is going to cruise through this. I'm going to go with a sweep here. If Jimmy Butler was playing, we could maybe think of an upset, maybe, but I didn't think the Celtics were going to get upset in the first round and lose to the Heat again. So I have the Heat losing in 4. The next game is Wednesday, April 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT. The Heat are gonna put up a fight in the games that are in Miami, which is game 3, which is Saturday, April 27th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT, and then Monday, April 29th, we'll be at the Heat. I think that will be really the two games that are going to be hard for Boston to get over, because you always got the Heat culture, you got the Heat crowd. But I think it's a 4-game sweep, and we're going to move on from that. Hey, what's up, Kevin? Yeah, let's go Capitals. We're going to get to the NHL after that. You're crazy thinking the Capitals will win, but hey, you can think what you want to think. The New York Knicks, we moved to there, right? Really, literally, like 30 minutes away from Madison Square Garden here, in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So, the Knicks are booming. They're good one. The question is Maxey and Joel Embiid going to be able to play today? That is the big question. Maxey is not around in shoot-arounds because of an illness. Joel Embiid had a scare in the first game where he threw it off the backboard and dunked it, but he landed hard on his bad knee, that he was out for all those months during the regular season. So it does look like it's going to be an uphill battle for the 76ers to get a win here tonight against the Knicks, which is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT in Madison Square Garden. I think if the Knicks go up 2-0, might be a sweep, or at least 5 games. I just think that Joel Embiid, he doesn't really look that healthy. He looks like he came back a little early. I agree, Aiden. I think even though you picked the 76ers, I thought the Knicks. I didn't think Joel Embiid's health. Um, I thought Joel Embiid's health was going to be a problem, as we saw in Game 1. He almost blew it out again. So I'm gonna go with the Knicks winning in 5. I had them winning in 6, but I got the Knicks winning in 5. Just after all of that, I'll stick with the Knicks winning in 6. I think if Joel Embiid goes in it, but I believe just where Joel Embiid is, I think the Knicks win in 5 right now, depending if Joel Embiid is um is playing at an MVP thing, then the Knicks are in trouble. But off of that, he might not even play tonight. We'll see. Um, yeah, people definitely doubted the Bucks. I'm actually going to get to that, Aiden, in just a sec. But yeah, they definitely doubted the Bucks without a doubt. I don't know why. I don't think there could be ever any doubt with the Bucks, especially that you have no Giannis. Yeah, but on top of that, you do have Damian Lillard, and Dame, he's still a superstar, bro. He's a bona fide superstar. You can't count him out, especially in the playoffs, man. Look what he did in Portland all those years. So back to the Knicks. I got the Knicks winning in 6. I'm going to stick with it. But I do think the Knicks win in 5 just on the Joel Embiid's health. Now we move to the Pacers and the Bucks. The Pacers and the Bucks is a tricky situation. Um, the Pacers had the Bucks number basically the whole year this year. I believe they were 4-1 against the Bucks, and the only time that the Bucks won was the 60 something point performance by Giannis, and they just barely won. The Bucks did win 109-94 in game 1. I think the Bucks roll. I do think the Bucks win in 6. I think the Pacers get tied up 2-2, and I think the Bucks just roll fire by 2. So I think the Bucks get the win there, and then the Pacers take the L. The Pacers are good. I just think that they need a little bit more of experience under their belt. Tyrese Halliburton is great. I just think they need little bit more experience, as well as you're versing one of the best shooters in the game in Damian Lillard, one of the best closers, and one of the best shot makers in the game still. So I do think that the Bucks will take care of this in 6. I think the Pacers do have a shot, but they need to win game 2. If they go down 2-0, it might be a gentleman's sweep or a sweep. We'll see what happens. Now, Cleveland and the Cavs, I think this is going to be the best series out of all the series in the East. I think both teams kind of go hand in hand with each other. I think Cleveland has got Donovan Mitchell. Orlando's got Paolo Banchero, but you got a bunch of guys on both sides of the ball. Offense and defense can do some damage. So I like the Cavaliers did win by 14, but it was a much closer game than people thought it was. 97-83 game 1. I do think the Cavs, though, win this series. And I'm going to go Cleveland winning. I believe I put it in 6 or I put it in 7. But I think I'm going to go with Cleveland winning in about 6 games. I changed some of my predictions based off of what happened, but you guys can always keep me to the tell of what my predictions was from last week, where I said on Friday. But I do think that Cleveland wins in 6. I just think the Magic are a little too young, and I think it's 1 year early. I think the next couple years, they'll be really in motion, and they'll get much better as the years go by because they have a lot of young talent. Now we move from the East, or we go to the West. What a game last night between the OKC Thunder and the Pelicans. Who would have thought the Pelicans would even beat Sacramento? I personally thought Sacramento would beat the Pelicans. I thought it would be a better series, especially without Zion. But to be honest, the Pelicans showed their grit and showed who they're all about. So I like it. It's going to be a tough series for OKC, and this is why I said to people, "Oh yeah, OKC, they'll make it." Nah, because they're too young. On the Pelicans, you got Brandon Ingram, you got Valanciunas, you got CJ McCollum. Even without Zion, you still have those guys. Herb Jones. You got a bunch of dogs on that team that really can put the pressure on the Thunder's young core. And I think they got lucky last night. The next game is Wednesday, the 24th of April at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on TNT. There's going to be another great freaking game. I'm going to stick with OKC. I don't think they get bounced by the Pelicans in the first round. I think this series goes 5. I think the Pelicans get 1 win, probably in New Orleans, and that's it. I think they close that out in a gentleman's sweep, OKC. But the Pelicans are going to be good. Without Zion, it's just hard for them to even really compete with the OKC Thunder. Now you got Denver and the Nuggets. Now a lot of people, I just got a comment on Instagram on one of my things. Oh well, the Nuggets are gonna sweep the Lakers. All right, cool. I mean, yeah, but you got to look at the whole scheme of things. If you look at just in general of the Lakers game on Saturday, we had a lead. We had a 13-point lead. Something in the third quarter clicked for Denver, and we couldn't make shots. I mean, Russell had to play one of his worst games all season, and he did it in game 1 of the NBA playoffs, first round against Denver. He shot like 1 for 10 from 3 and 13 points. He had 20 good looks. He put up 20 shots. Maybe 6 were just out of nothing, but that's still 14 shots that were like good looks and open looks. He's got to knock those down. I think he comes out tonight. He comes out firing, because if he doesn't and we go down 2-0, I'm never gonna count out my Lakers, but it's going to be a really uphill battle to come back from 2-0 against the defending champs. Yes, it's going back to LA, but it's going to be tough. So we definitely need to try to get a win tonight to even the series 1-1. Because if we do, then I have a better chance. I have a lot of more. I always have 100% with my Lakers winning any series, any game against anybody. But I would have a much more of like a backup from everybody else saying like, all right, yeah, well, the fact of the matter is, yes, is Denver the better team playing wise? Yes. Are they on paper? No, I think we match up pretty well. I just think we need that third squad. We need that third squatty. We need that third man that is going to make those shots when needed and when open. And I think D'Lo has to be that guy, along with Austin Reeves, Rhea Hachimura. But Anthony Davis, LeBron played a awesome game on Saturday, and we still lost by 11. So we got to clear up some things tonight. It's going to be rough, but let's see if we can get the game tonight. But I'm going to take my Lakers, of course. I'm going to take my Lakers. I'm going to stick with it. Lakers winning in 7. Minnesota and Phoenix. Who would have thought Minnesota beat the brakes off the Suns, 120-95. It wasn't even close. Anthony Edwards was going nuts against his favorite player and Kevin Durant, talking that shit, doing all that stuff, and I was eating it up. I love that. That's how you got to play basketball. So I think the Timberwolves, man, they win in at least 6, but I might be pushing 5. We'll see how well game 2 goes for Minnesota, but I don't think Kevin Durant's going to go out like that. I think it's going to be like a 2-2 series, or like, yeah, probably like a 3-1, and then Kevin Durant gets one 3-2, and then it goes back to the Timberwolves, and then they get the win at the house to advance to the second round. That's how I think it goes. I think Minnesota wins in 6. Clippers, Dallas. I did not expect the Clippers to be up like almost 30 in this game. Dallas did fight back at the end, but they lost by 12 still. I just think that they had a little bit of a rough shooting night. I think the Mavericks still win this series. I got them winning in, I believe, 6 games or 7. I forget which one I had, but I believe I had them winning in 6. But it's going to be an uphill battle. I really like the Dallas's offense. Their defense was one of the best defenses to end the year. But for some reason right now, they're not clicking. That first game, they were not clicking on all cylinders. Kyrie Irving looked the defeated. Luka did as well. The whole team did. So they got to bounce back on Tuesday at 10 p.m. against the Clippers. And then we move on. And that will be it for our playoff predictions and how the game 1s did. I was shocked on a lot of the game 1s. I was not expecting there to be that many blowouts. I mean, you had the Pacers getting blown out. You had the Mavericks getting blown out. You had the Suns getting blown out. I mean, it was a bunch of blowouts that that I did not think was gonna happen. But hey, it is what it is. Did you do a playoff bracket? No, I didn't do one, Aiden. I kind of just did it on my own. I kind of just basically said it on my YouTube show on Friday where when my first round picks were gonna go. Every round I'll do a pick before the rounds start. And then that's how I'll go with it. I maybe should have. I actually didn't look for one. I didn't find one. Maybe I just didn't look that well. But I didn't find one. If you have one and you know of, send it send it to the chat to my chat on or send it on my phone. Text me if you have a bracket and you know one that I can put in. I found one on Twitter. Yeah, I'm not on Twitter, so that's probably why. I'm not a Twitter guy, Aiden. But we're gonna move on to our second segment. Well, technically our first segment, but like half of our first segment, which was going to the NHL playoffs. Now, game ones are over. For most of the part, there are still two that have not played game ones, which is Dallas and Vegas. They're happening tonight. The Oilers and the Kings are happening as well tonight. But first game one, Florida, they get the win against Tampa in a close game. I think Tampa was going to give Florida some problems, but I think Florida ultimately wins in about 5 games. I think Tampa Bay gets one. I got Florida winning in 5. Boston, I think Boston wins in 6. I think Toronto bounces back. I don't think Toronto's going to get swept or lose in gentleman's sweep, but I do think Boston wins in 6. Rangers, they won 4-1 last night. Easy win. We had 3 goals in 2 minutes and 7 seconds. So I'm going to take the Rangers winning in a sweep. I got the Rangers beating the Capitals in 4 games. Quick and easy. Hurricanes versus the Islanders. I'm going to take the Hurricanes as well, winning in a sweep over the Islanders. I don't think the Islanders have a good enough team to beat the Hurricanes at once. So I think the Rangers and the Hurricanes get sweep to go to the next round to face each other. So I would have Florida against Boston to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. I would have Rangers versus Hurricanes in the second round. To move on to the other side of things, you have Dallas versus Vegas. Like I said, I think Dallas wins. I think Dallas wins in 7. Actually, no, I think Dallas wins in 6. I got Winnipeg winning in 7. I got Vancouver winning in 5, and I got the Oilers winning in 6. So game 1, Winnipeg, it was 7-6. I mean, there was so much scoring in this game. It was great. What a game it was. It looked like a Stanley Cup final game, but it was just a first round matchup, first game of the playoffs. So I got Winnipeg winning in 7. This is going to be a tough series for them, but I think they prevail. Vancouver, they took the win over the Predators. They were actually down late 2-1 in the third, and they got the win. So I think Vancouver takes care of the Predators pretty easily. The Oilers and the Kings, I think the Oilers get the win tonight. I think the Oilers win in 6. I think LA is good enough to beat this team, but I don't think they're consistent enough to beat this team. So I would have the Oilers versus the Canucks. I would have Dallas versus Winnipeg to go to the Western Conference. So that's pretty much that for the NHL. I mean, it's not as much is in detail as the games that we have for the NBA, but at the same time, it's not bad. I do think that both teams. I do think that both in general, you have a good chance of doing it. Aiden just commented, rank the 4 major sports based on which you like to cover the most. That's a good question. That's a great question, Aiden. You kind of put me on the spot here. I would probably have to go with I love basketball. Basketball has been a part of my life since I was a kid. I love to play it. I love to cover it. Love to watch it. NFL is there too. Baseball, bro. I can't really tell you which ones I like the best or the most because I like watching and playing both and covering all of them. But I'm probably gonna have to rank the NFL at the top because I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm gonna say tied for first is the NBA because I'm a Lakers fan. I would say second would be the MLB. I would say third would be hockey. Fourth, I love boxing and MMA, so that's tied for fourth. And then fifth, I would probably have to go with I'll probably have to go with golf. I like watching golf. If there's a big, huge monster thing, then I'll cover it. I don't really cover it, so golf is kind of at the end. But I do like watching it. I like playing it. So those are kind of what I am. Aiden said for me, it's the NFL, NBA, and MLB. All three, I love them all. NFL is a step above, though. I get you. I agree. I mean, the NFL is great. I do also like that it's not as many games, so it's like really you can go into depth about the season. It's not like you have to like go over 82 games. Like I can go and do a segment on TikTok, or I could do a segment on my show and just go over 16 games, and that will be a whole segment and a whole show. Where 82 games, that's got to be like 3 different shows because there's so many games. So, and especially the MLB as well. But man, we cover MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL, all games throughout the year, all 82 games of the NHL, all 82 games of the NBA, all 162 games of the Yankees season. Now, for as we get along with the season, I'm probably going to be going into a little bit of the Mets and maybe like the Red Sox or some of our rivals probably stay in our division, and then the only other team probably will be the Mets. Um, yeah, I want to go live for the draft as well, bro. But I'm working, so kind of sucks. I didn't think about it, but you got to get that bread. You know what I mean? So I ain't trying to like not work. But as always, I'll probably catch when I get home, put the live on and like recap the first round. That's probably what I'll do before I go to bed and be like, hey, this is how the first round went. What you guys' thoughts on it? Maybe you could join the live, Aiden, and we could talk about how the draft went. But I'll still be keeping in touch with it on my phone while I'm working. I'll be right there. So I get you. Yeah. All right. Cool. So we'll do that. So guys, if you wanna join the live, if you wanna look at the live on Thursday night after I get back from work, I'll be going on live with Aiden here on the Sports Talk with Aiden. We'll be going on live and we'll be recapping the first round. He'll be on live, so go check him out. Sports Talk with Aiden. He'll be on live. Um, on the draft when it starts. I'll be at work. I'll be there after, and he'll join my live. So you guys should tune into his stuff because he's got some good shit. So we're gonna move on to our last segment, which is gonna be our sports stories. But I'm gonna have to say goodbye to the TikTok live because I gotta use some of my stuff on my phone to get some sports stories up and running. So I will catch you guys probably later tonight. I'll probably go live with the Lakers game. I'm gonna be at work, but I'll be catching probably the middle of the second quarter, if not the second half. So we'll see how the Lakers are doing. But I appreciate your support. I appreciate all the 633 likes on our live today. So I'll catch you guys later. So peace out, guys. Have a great rest of your Monday afternoon, and I'll catch you guys later tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now back like I never left. We're going to go into some sports stories, so let's get right to it. Now, like I said, John Sterling's time of the voice of the New York Yankees, a memorable 36-year run to conclude a 64-year career, officially ended Saturday at Yankee Stadium. Sterling took the field for a pregame ceremony with his family to roll call that spread from the right field bleachers to the rest of the ballpark. He received video messages from former Yankees greats Derek Jeter, Bernie Williams, and Paul O'Neill. He was presented with gifts, including 83-inch television and a Yankee home jersey with the number 5631, the total number of Yankee games he called on the radio. That's awesome. The Yankees did that. So that was pretty sick. Now we move to our next story where Yankees have a delay when it comes to the start of DJ LeMahieu's minor league injury rehabilitation assignment after an MRI showed that the fracture in his right foot has not fully healed. So he is now on another setback. The 35-year-old, a two-time batting champion, has been sidelined since fouling a ball off the foot during spring training game on March 16th. That's been a while. He was have started the rehab assignment Friday, but remained in New York. The earliest he will report a minor league team is Tuesday. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, it looks like we're always talking about these guys. The Dallas Cowboys 2024 offseason has felt different than the past offseasons for various reasons. For the first time in their string of 3 consecutive 12-win seasons, Dallas was humiliated in the postseason with a 48-32 face plant on a defeat against the 7th-seeded Green Bay Packers. The previous 2 years ended with a possession losses against the San Francisco 49ers. As well as we're not getting anything done with our contracts, and this is just not looking good. Now, Roman Gabriel, one of the pro football's best quarterbacks during 1960, passed away Saturday morning. His son announced he was 83 years old. I'm sad to announce my father, Roman Gabriel, R. Gabriel, at R. Gabriel 4HOF, passed away peacefully this morning of natural causes at his home. The entire family asks for your prayers and to please respect our privacy. I love you, Dad. That's awesome. In 1962, Gabriel, who played at NC State from 1959 to 1961, was the number 1 overall pick in the AFL draft and the number 2 overall pick in the NFL draft. Instead of signing with the AFL's Raiders, Gabriel joined the NFL Rams, a decision that paid major dividends for the franchise. Rest in peace. R.I.P. Roman Gabriel. Hearts go out to you and your family and his son. Appreciate all you did for the game. The New York Mets on Saturday placed catcher Francisco Alvarez on a 10-day injured list because of a torn ligament in his thumb that will require surgery. Manager Carlos Mendoza announced on Saturday that Mendoza did not put a timetable on when Alvarez is expected to return, but did express optimism that he will make his way back before the season ends. Corresponding moves, the club recalled catcher Thomas Niddle from a AAA and designated left-hander Carlton Ingram from the assignment in order to create a spot on the 40-man roster for Nido. During Alvarez's absence, Omar Narvaez is likely to be in the Mets regularly behind the plate. Big miss. He ran into the base, I believe, with his thumb or one of his fingers, and it kind of like tore his ligament, which kind of sucks. Now, the Boston Red Sox have lost yet another player to injury. I mean, I hate seeing players lose to injury, but I hate the Red Sox, so get him out of there. First baseman Tristan Casey was placed on a 10-day injured with a left rib strain. The team announced Sunday. Catcher Tyler Heineman was called up in a corresponding mood. Cassis suffered the injury, taking a swing in the first at-bat Saturday. He stayed to finish the at-bat. Casey did not take another swing and drew a walk and then was replaced defensively in the next half inning. Not a good sign for the Red Sox to start the season. Now, D'Lo, this guy was straight trash on Saturday. I mean, he was really bad. He was so bad against Denver in the 2023 Western Conference Finals that the Los Angeles Lakers nearly let him walk for free agency. I don't think we'll see D'Lo Russell back. And what the Lakers insider Chris Hines said after the Lakers were swept, this was the prevailing sentiment leading into the offseason. Neither side found a preferable alternative, so Russell resigned, did not on a contract that required him to agree to waive his right to veto a trade and implicit right granted by nature of the deal he signed. Lakers dangled him into the trade talks for months, but after a slow start to the season, Russell erupted. He was reinserted into the starting lineup on January 13th, and between then and the trade deadline, he averaged 24 points per game on elite efficiency. He wasn't quite as the dominant down the stretch, but improved significantly on his early season struggles. Dude, he single-handedly won games for us, man, down the stretch. He was phenomenal. But, man, he got to come to play tonight. Man, tonight is the night. Monday, April 22nd. He has to come to play. If he doesn't, we are going to get bamboozled out of the Denver Nuggets Stadium. It is going to be a bad beat if we lose that. Now we move to college basketball with Duke transfer Jeremy Roach, arguably the best point guard in the transfer portal, announced his commitment to Baylor on Sunday. That's a big commitment, man. I'm waiting for my Kentucky Wildcats to make something. Now, Darvin had said it remains under whether Los Angeles Lakers forward Christian Wood and Jared Vanderbilt, who missed game 1 of their Western Conference first-round series against the Denver Nuggets, will be available to return any point in the series. Wood has been sidelined since February 14th because of a discomfort in his left knee, undergoing arthroscopic surgery on March 19th. He averaged 6.9 points on 46.6% shooting, 30.7% from 3, and 5.1 rebounds in 17.4 minutes per game prior to the injury. All I'll say is he's still going through his recovery process from the injury in the rehab process. Lakers coach Darvin had said on a conference conference call with reporters when asked about Wood's potential return. Obviously, he has size, he has length, he has rebounding capabilities, and can stretch the floor. But his first and foremost, he has a couple more boxes to check before we even consider that. Wood averaged 5.0 points on 80% shooting and 4 rebounds in 2 regular season games against the Nuggets. So, I mean, he's averaged good minutes and good points with good efficiency. Now, the Clippers, if you guys did not see yesterday, the Clippers did not have superstar Kawhi Leonard, but that didn't matter because they demolished the Mavericks. Leonard would not be available for the team's playoff opener against the Dallas Mavericks, as head coach Ty Lue told reporters that Leonard will be out prior to Sunday's press conference. Leonard was regarded as a questionable to that point. He hasn't taken any contract in practice due to the swelling in his right knee. Lue did not immediately name a replacement for Leonard. Additionally, Lue had no update as whether Leonard will be available for Game 2 onward. So yeah, that's pretty much it for our sports stories here today, guys. We have a couple more. Matt Ryan has announced his retirement after 15 seasons. Rookie of the Year, 2016 NFL MVP. Made it to a Super Bowl, 2008 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. He has retired from the game. Tampa Bay has placed reliever Pete Fairbanks on injured list due to the nerve issue as struggling bullpen takes another hit. So Tampa Bay is not looking that good either. Michael Penix Jr. says he's cut from the same fabric as a couple of NFL greats in letter to the GMs. Jets have traded Zach Wilson to the Broncos. They deal the former first-round QB just days ahead of the NFL draft. Jets receive a 6th and 7th round draft pick. The Heat star Jimmy Butler, like we said earlier, out for the entire first-round playoff series against the Celtics. Maxey might not play Game 2. 76ers players Maxey is questionable for tonight's game against the Knicks because of an illness. So yeah, you got a bunch of guys that might be out for a significant amount of time. But yeah, that concludes our sports stories for today's show. Like I said, here on our YouTube show, as well as Apple Podcasts and Spotify audio show, I am your host, Zack Jackson, here on the Fire Sports Pod, powered by StreamYard. I appreciate all your support, guys. We are going for 100 subscribers. This is now season 3, episode 9. Let's get rolling. I'll catch you guys on Wednesday, going over a pre-draft analysis before the NFL draft, which is on Thursday night, where I will be recapping Thursday's night first round NFL draft after I get home from work. So I'll catch you guys then. Peace out. Have a great rest of your Monday afternoon, and I'll catch you guys on Wednesday. Peace out. I'm your host, Zack Jackson, here on the Fire Sports Pod. It was a pleasure spending time with you this afternoon. Peace.